Good afternoon. We are here in Santa Clara this afternoon. It is hot, and we're getting ready to go down to the river, something that we have to do quite often these days. We're going down to the river to take a bath, and we thought we'd take you along with us today. Right now it's the dry season here, and it's hot, and so a lot of afternoons to cool down, we go down to the river and just spend some time playing in the river. Jennifer does laundry, and or we do dishes down there. Excuse me, Henry. The river is important, an important part of our daily life right now, because the water here in these ponds are very low and stagnant. During the rainy season, it's kind of fresh water flowing through here. Henry, watch the cord, please. But right now it's dry season, so we can't use this water. So we have to go to the river for everything we do, from bathing to washing the dishes to getting water to filter to washing our clothes. So it's very important. The river, to get to the river, is a little bit of a hike, though. So one of the challenges of being here. This is Alberto's house, one of the pastors here in Santa Clara, and he's also called Aru. That's his Shawi name. Most of the people here have a given name, which is in Spanish, but then they also have a Shawi name, which is really common. And when they speak in Shawi, they use the Shawi name. So it's been kind of a difficult to pick up on, because we know many other Spanish names, but not necessarily the Shawi names. Here's the church that we come to and are a part of here in Santa Clara. It's a big building. They're getting ready to have a church anniversary in September and inviting many, many other people. They're anticipating maybe 1,000 people will come. We'd love to try to get back here for that and be around. Here's some cacao that's drying out in the sun. Somebody's harvested. It's Inocente. That's his name. It's his cacao. And you let it ferment for 3 days, and then you lay it out in the sun like that to dry for a couple of days, and when it's dry, it's ready to sell. Over here, that's Cornelio's house, and that's where I keep our outboard motor, because it's a...
I got outboard.
Because it's difficult to get it across the bridge over there to the house where we're staying at, and Cornelio doesn't live there all the time, so he's letting us use his porch to keep the outboard motor. At the church, we go to the church 4 days a week, or 4 services a week: Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, and Friday night is each service. Sunday morning is Sunday school. That's where we work with the kids. And church always starts at 7 o'clock at night, and have a few worship songs, and then we do somebody preaches, and then we do a few worship songs at the end to close service, and we're usually done by 8 or 8:30. Usually it's service is done. Here's a little store here in the community, and now we're coming over here to the main part of the community of Santa Clara. Most of the communities are set up this way. They have a soccer field in the middle, as you'll see here in a little bit. And then from there, they build houses around the soccer field. And every evening, it's mid-afternoon right now here, every evening people gather around and play soccer. A lot of the men play soccer every evening. Last Sunday it was Father's Day, and another village came, and there was a big soccer game here. So we got to spend the afternoon sitting and watching live sports here in Santa Clara. Here's a little well that doesn't function very well. It doesn't work very well. It didn't get deep enough when they built it, so we can't get water from the well. Much. It comes and goes. Not much. Right now there's nobody around because it's the middle of the day and it's hot, and people are out working in their fields or resting. But usually in the evenings when you go to take a bath, there's a lot of people along here. And in the Shawi culture, we always announce what we're doing. You always say, when you pass somebody, instead of saying hi and greeting them, you would just say, I'm going to do such and such, whatever. You just announce what you're doing. And here's this is Pastor Benito's house, another pastor here, and his kids. Iwata. Iwata. And Iwatare. And so instead of when you greet, you often would greet by saying, I'm going to do this. So as a result, part of our Shawi, we've learned how to say, where are we going? Because that's an often thing. So you say, I'm going to go take a bath. I'm going to the river. I'm going to the port. I'm going to my house. I'm going to the field. I'm going to church, whatever that might look like.
I have one to keep up.
Here's the main soccer field and the main part of the community. And Maggie's very happy. The main part of the soccer field and community here. And so then here's the school we're coming to. They have a school here in the village. There's a place here where they prepare meals for the children. The children receive breakfast and lunch every school day. And there's an elementary school here, and there's 2 classes. There's 1st through 3rd grade and 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. And so there's 2 teachers there, and then there's also down that way, the green building is the preschool, and there's another teacher for that. So there's actually 3 school teachers here in the community. So there's around 60 children that are involved in the school. Across the way over there is a blue house. That is the Apu's house, the chief of the village. He lives in the blue building over there. And past that, down that way a little bit, is a house with a porch where we sit on the top step of the porch, and you hold your phone in just the right spot, you can get a phone signal, and we can make cell phone calls. It's only if you see the mountains back there, when there's clouds in the mountains, a lot of times we don't get any signal because the antenna is back there by those mountains. But when it's a clear day like today, we usually can get a signal and be able to make some phone calls. And now we're coming across the soccer field and getting finally close to the river. And hopefully this gives you an idea of what it's like here. This is the walk where we go to get our water. So if we need water to filter, to drink, we walk down here, we get a bucket full of water, we carry it all the way back to the house. If we need to take a bath or do laundry or dishes, we walk all the way down here to the river to do those things. So it's quite a little bit of a hike. Here we come to another house, and this is the path that leads to the river. And we're just going to walk down here through this little path. Beautiful orange trees, grapefruit trees, plantains. As we're now nearing the river. Sometimes it does when it rains in the rainy season. This area will actually flood with water, but we're still 15 feet above the main part of the river over here. And now that we're in the dry season, the river is really dropping, and it's going to be a real challenge to get in and out of here because there's a lot of sand and not a lot of water. And Lucy's already down here doing the laundry, as we often do. And there's our boat, and here's the river, the Pijingue. It's a small stream that comes off the Paranapura. Thanks for coming along on our trip today and being a part of our life here in Santa Clara.